Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having a fantastic Friday afternoon or Friday evening. Thank you so very much for tuning in. We have a lot to talk about. I'm going to make it short and quick initially. I will give you a concise breakdown of what's going on within the next 2 minutes. And then the rest of the time, we'll continue talking about all of this, and we'll go in all different directions. To my super chat, thank you so very much for your support and giving me all the incentive to rock these live streams. Number one, the House is going to pass a resolution to prevent President Trump, to block President Trump's national emergency declaration. Number two, once it passes the House, it will go to the Senate. There is a chance, people like Romney, there is a chance, I don't expect it, there is a chance that Republicans will side with Democrats. Not out of principle, but because of the media, because they want to, for whatever reason, there's going to be about 4 or 5 that could potentially flip and side with Democrats. I don't believe that's going to happen, because I think that their political future at that moment, if they side with Democrats regarding this issue, is done. If they side with Democrats, if the Senate passes, if both the House and Senate pass a resolution aimed at preventing President Trump from declaring a national emergency to get his funding, then Trump vetoes it. That's all that happens. Okay? He vetoes the resolution or the legislation. That's it. So that's what takes place, ladies and gentlemen. I'll read you this from NBC News. If both the House and Senate were to pass the resolution, it would send a major symbolic message, but its impact would be limited to symbolism. Administration aides have already made clear Trump would veto any effort that interferes with his declaration, and the measure is unlikely to attract anywhere near the GOP support needed to overturn the presidential veto. So he would never get the support needed to overturn the veto. All he would do is simply veto any resolution or legislation that tries to block his national security declaration. The senators that could possibly side with Democrats: Lisa Murkowski, Tom Tillis, North Carolina; Lamar Alexander, Tennessee, which is bizarre, but Cory Gardner, Colorado; Marco Rubio, Florida; Mitt Romney, Utah; Mike Lee, Utah; Jerry Moran, Kansas; Rand Paul. Actually, it's interesting. Rand Paul might be. And I get it. I understand the rationale. Well, you're circumventing Congress, but Congress is a do-nothing entity. It doesn't want to do anything. So I get it. I understand. And it's not going to set a dangerous precedent, because the issues that Democrats would want to utilize a national security or a national emergency declaration in order to pass, like, you can't just say, oh, we're going to implement gun control, and we're going to pass a national. The president's going to declare a national emergency and overturn the Second Amendment. That's not happening. You can't declare a national emergency to circumvent the Bill of Rights. So that's not feasible. It's not even realistic. Okay. Also, because then you'd have to make the correlation between an inanimate object and the actions of people intent upon committing criminal acts. But see, that already, when Democrats hear that, their minds tune out. So what you have here, ladies and gentlemen, is a president who kept his promise. Now, initially, when I was a Bernie Sanders supporter, I'm no longer a Bernie Sanders supporter. And I actually think that Bernie Sanders voters from 2016 should vote for President Trump. President Trump is bringing home Americans from conflict, from two theaters of conflict. President Trump signed a prison reform bill. President Trump is presiding over peace between North and South Korea. President Trump is presiding over a foreign policy that's less militant, less hawkish than Obama's foreign policy. Obama destroyed Libya with his foreign policy. So you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where they're trying to sue the government to block the move. It's not going to work. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals sided with Trump regarding a lawsuit. Okay, so hold on. Ninth Circuit. So let's see. Ninth Circuit win. Ninth Circuit upholds Trump win on border wall environmental waivers. So this is Reuters. A federal appeals court handed President Trump a win in a border wall battle on Monday, upholding the authority of the Department of Homeland Security to waive procedural and environmental requirements that would otherwise slow down the construction process. If I was able to, based on YouTube live stream policies, I could then explain why it actually is a national emergency. But to discuss the actual catastrophic, oh my God, I'm about to sneeze. Oh my goodness. That was crazy. All right. If I was able to simply speak freely without, the algorithm, not a neoconservative. I don't want interventionist foreign policy. That's why I like Trump. Trump is the antithesis of a neoconservative foreign policy. The antithesis. Bernie Sanders would implement anything Democrats wanted if he was president. He would be the Bernie Sanders of today is a hologram. A hologram created by the Democratic Party, exactly what the Democratic Party wants. And in the 1 or 2% chance that he would actually, he wants to. He will eventually. It's being prevented by Democrats who don't want Americans home. I remember when I was on Twitter, people used to go to me all the time. I swear to God, this is why I left Twitter. They're like, no peace between North and South Korea, huh, HA? The meeting's not happening, huh, HA? What do you think now of your dear leader, Trump? Then, 2 months later, the meeting happens with Kim Jong-un, and all those people, scurry back into the woodwork. It's like all of these, people don't like Trump no matter what he does. Oh, it's a coup in this Latin American country. If I even state the name of the country, it's like a big problem on YouTube sometimes. So no, it's not. It's not the same type of thing as Libya. It's not the same type of thing as a military intervention with NATO jets. Not the same type of thing. You can try to make it the same and pretend that people are like, oh, I'm so morally outraged. It's like, well, I would be against that also. I don't want to interfere in the actions of other countries. A little bit different from NATO intervention. Actually, a lot different. Libya was not a failed state before we intervened. That country in Latin America that, progressives are all up in arms over, that, ladies and gentlemen, was already a failed state. And they're like, oh my God, look what's taking place. The Trump administration. It's like, well, people were going to zoos for dinner. Not good. So the Buff Bernie coloring book, it's like, so Trump vows veto as Democrats try to block emergency order. He's going to veto anything. Democrats controlling the House have teed up a vote next week to block President Donald Trump from using a national emergency declaration to fund a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border, accelerating a showdown in Congress that could divide Republicans and lead to Trump's first veto. Let the Republicans do this. I want Republicans. I swear to God, I want Republicans to. I just want to see. I want to see the Republican Party. I want to see the results of a Republican Party that unites with Democrats and Trump vetoing it. I would love to see that. I would absolutely love to see that. Because the voters, and I'm not a conservative. I am a Bernie Sanders supporter who is now a Trump supporter. And that's very rational when you're talking about foreign policy, when you're talking about a non-interventionist foreign policy, at least a great deal less hawkish and less militant than Obama's foreign policy, a push to bring Americans home from never-ending quagmires, a foreign policy that leads to peace between North and South Korea, whereas Hillary Clinton stated she was going to ring China with missile defense. We can go on and on. A great economy, record low Black and Latino unemployment. But it started under Obama. It didn't. And even if it did, how is that a rebuttal? And I am in the process, ladies and gentlemen, of writing an article, an op-ed on why Bernie Sanders 2016 voters should vote for President Trump in 2020. And it's going to be fantastic. Remember when I told you I had an article that I was writing on AOC's Green New Deal and how the mining of nickel has led to tremendous political, social, environmental catastrophe in the Congo, where by some estimates, 35,000 children are mining cobalt for your wonderful green, fantastic green vehicle in sometimes in radioactive mines with zero health standards. Oh, but it's green. It's AOC says it's green and fantastic, so it's all good. Remember when I said that, and then I'm very happy I was published in the Federalist. Very happy. Thank you, Eric H526. I love the Federalist. No, I'm not as delusional about Trump as Democrats were about Obama, because Democrats were okay with Obama destroying Libya. I'm okay with President Trump bringing home Americans. A little bit different. I would love to debate anybody on the left. They would never debate me. Like, I have an open debate for anyone. Sam Cedar, come on this channel anytime. Would love to talk with you. He actually had a pretty hilarious segment on me. That's like the one. He's like one of the few people who tried to disparage me that I actually found somewhat like. The segment was hilarious, even though it was absurd and ridiculous, but it was kind of funny. Jimmy Dore is like a million times more amazing in terms of a comedian, but I got to give him props. It was a funny segment about me. It was somewhat amusing. Anyway, open invitation to Sam Cedar to debate President Trump and how he's infinitely better than President Obama. And why Bernie Sanders supporters should vote. Well, he's not even a Bernie Sanders supporter, so. But open invitation to Mr. Kulinski or Humanist Report anytime on my channel, anytime in the next 2 years. Contact goodman78@gmail.com. I would love to debate anybody on the left with a major platform. But they won't debate me because I know all their little secrets. I know the duplicity and the hypocrisy. Covering up too much of the great Walter Payton's poster right here. Let's see if we're not going to invade any Latin American nation. That is not going to happen. That is simply not going to happen. That is simply not going to happen at all. So, gosh, wait a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, it's like, let's just read this. These are 10 GOP senators who may break with Trump on emergency declaration. President Trump's decision to declare a national emergency in order to circumvent Congress and secure funds puts him on a collision course with lawmakers from his own party. Okay, Susan Collins. Well, we know Susan Collins. Susan Collins, top Democratic voting against Trump's declaration would give her some distance from the president. Okay, Lisa Murkowski, Alaska. Murkowski said last week that the wall is, quote, a matter that should be declared, not a matter that should be declared a national emergency. Okay. North Carolina's Tom Tillis. Tillis is another Democrat. Okay, so a state that's voted for GOP candidate for president past 2 cycles. He has generally been a strong ally of Trump, but he may want to demonstrate his independence. Nah, I don't buy that. Lamar Alexander, Tennessee. He's retiring, which gives him the freedom to vote his conscience. Yeah, right. Well, what if his conscience sides with Trump? Cory Gardner, Colorado, faces re-election next year. State won by Democrat. Hillary. So they're assuming that, yeah, but then the Republicans in Colorado won't vote for him. Marco Rubio could, just because Rubio and Romney, their lives exist to ensure Trump doesn't do anything, to ensure Trump doesn't succeed in anything. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see what takes place. It's going to be interesting. We'll see what takes place. I don't believe the Senate will side with. To my super chat, by the way, thank you so very much for supporting my voice. You give me every incentive to rock this live stream, rock these live streams. I don't think the Senate will. I don't think the Senate will side with the House or with Democrats. I could be wrong, but if it happens, I would absolutely love to see a veto, because then Trump would be showing the Republican Party that they have a choice. House Democrats would need 54 Republicans, and Senate Democrats would need 20 Republicans to overturn a veto in the House and the Senate. Yes, thank you, Mitchell Smith. Thank you. That is awesome, actually. Thank you very much, Mitchell Smith. Thank you. Mitchell Smith, thank you. Yeah, so that's not going to happen. 2/3 vote in each chamber. Thank you, Mitchell Smith, as always. House Democrats would need 54 Republicans, and Senate Democrats would need 20 Republicans. That ain't going to happen. So what some of these Republicans might do, this is hilarious person on this live chat. What some of the Republicans might do is they might actually just. Alan Cannon, thank you for watching. Is this Alan J. Cannon? Thank you. Alan Cannon, if it is you, the Alan Cannon I know, I hope all is well. And it was an honor and a pleasure to interview you the other year. Ninth Circuit upholds Trump win on border wall and viral waivers. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals rejects claims by 4 environmental groups in the state of California, which argue that construction there violates federal law and constitutional provisions regarding the separation of powers and states' rights. So, the Ninth Circuit could rule against the emergency declaration, which would then go to the Supreme Court. I just don't see any court looking at the atrocities taking place. I just don't see any court looking at what's going on and saying, okay, you know what? We're going to own this. We're going to own, because if you rule against if you vote against Trump's national security declaration, or if you rule against it, and if the courts rule against it, and the Supreme Court, I don't believe will. I think they'll side with Trump. But there is a national emergency going on. In 2014, General John Kelly called it an existential threat. It was an issue that was so grandiose, it was an existential threat to the country. So I just don't see anyone. See, Democrats, it doesn't matter what Trump does. Democrats just can't stand him. They don't even want to bring Americans home, American soldiers home to their children, their sons, their daughters, their husbands, their wives. They don't even view that as an important. For me, that's the most important policy objective. The most important part of any value system is to end perpetual conflict and wars, especially when we have Americans that have been there for close to 20 years now in never-ending quagmires. That's one of the main reasons I loved Bernie Sanders, loved past tense in 2016. So I don't see so Democrats, all they want to do, Alan, it's contactgoodman78@gmail.com. I am honored to have a really wonderful gentleman watching this live stream. His name is Alan Cannon, and he's awesome. And he's actually part of a really landmark case. So, Matt, hello. It's contactgoodman78@gmail.com if you want to be part of a newsletter, everyone, or if you're a pundit and you accept my challenge for a debate one day and you grow some, or you gain enough courage, it's contactgoodman78@gmail.com. So we'll get to, you have Murkowski, Tillis, Alexander, Gardner. I don't think most of these were Rubio and Romney. Romney, one of 6 Republicans to reopen the government without additional. Last week said he wanted to see what legislative authority he might cite before rendering a decision on the emergency declaration. The Utah senator has harshly criticized Trump, and his national stature as a past GOP presidential nominee has set him up as a rival leader within the party to Trump. Now, Styx has a great take on all of this, as he does on most things, on all things. He's awesome. But I would love to see Romney or anyone else try to challenge Trump. It would be like the 85 Bears versus a Pop Warner team, with Romney being the Pop Warner team and Trump being the 85 Bears. It would be the 70s Steelers defense, steel curtain defense, against like another Pop Warner team. It's like, you're not going to this. They're under the delusion. They're completely delusional. Samuel Stafford, keep up the good work, your broadcaster, Sanity. Thank you so much. You know what? It is, Samuel, it is therapy for me as well, because I'm thinking about all of this in my head, and I'm coming from the left. Samuel Stafford, thank you so very much as always for supporting my voice and supporting this channel. But I'm coming from the left, and I'm realizing I'm leaving a place with so much hypocrisy and disingenuous political corruption. And then I'm a Trump supporter now, and I do realize that I didn't realize the level of corruption. Well, I did on the Republican side, but now I know. See, Romney doesn't really disagree with Trump. Romney just wants to be different, and he's like Kasich. He's like they have delusions of grandeur. There was a great Chappelle, the Chappelle skit with oh my God, there was a great with Rick James, and he's like, "You got delusions of grandeur." I used to be able to do. I can't do a Rick James impression now, but they have delusions of grandeur, and they think that they could primary Trump, and then Ann Coulter is like, "Yeah, go ahead and do it." They just think that they really do think. So Samuel Stafford, thank you. Samuel Stafford, thank you so much as always. They really do. Like, I'm telling you right now, Clinton will eventually get indicted, but the type of person Clinton is, she doesn't think she ever will get indicted, and if she does get indicted, she still thinks she would be able to win the presidency. Romney, 100%. I'm telling you. This is not saying he's a bad human being. Just saying, 100%. He thinks that he can defeat Trump either next election or sometime in the future, or next election, or that he'll be president eventually. That's the level. That's the mindset that these politicians, these professional politicians have, because anything's possible in politics. Just ask Bill Clinton. Like, anything's possible in politics and Hollywood, because you're talking about the most morally depraved. Like, what's worse, politics or Hollywood? Who knows? Like, what's worse, a garbage dump or a sewer? It's like, so like Romney does believe that he can actually Romney believes that he can actually either primary Trump or and then you have Bernie Sanders, and it's so pathetic and sad. Like, you see these Bernie Sanders ads on YouTube, and it's like, who are you kidding? He's like, change comes from the top down. We're going to reinvigorate this nation and make sure that it's like, Bernie, you got cheated. You didn't do anything. If Trump got cheated, he would gnaw at the cranium of whoever cheated him. Like, you see his like hair, like orange hair flying around. like Trump would never allow anyone to cheat him. Okay? But Bernie is like, together we can do this. It's like, no, well, in 2016, your appeal was that one reason I loved Bernie also was that he was a threat to the system, or he portrayed himself as fighting a corrupt system. But they cheated him. If you have your fiance, okay, let's say, I'm married, but let's say, I have a fiance and we're about to get married and I'm at the altar. I'm at the altar and, you know, we're waiting and, here comes the bride. The song is playing. She ain't there. She's not there. Where's the bride to be? Where's the fiance? Oh, she ran away with the limo driver. Okay, well that's what happened with Bernie. Okay? Bernie ran away with the limo driver. And it wasn't his, like, yes, he was cheated, but at the same time, was he in on it? I mean, I'm not saying he was in on it, but to a certain extent, he did not let them know that if you cheat me, or he did not, let's put it this way. It took me a long time. It took me a long time to realize that Bernie Sanders is a political creature. I kind of understood why he had to campaign with Hillary Clinton. I didn't want to believe that he was a political creature. I wanted to believe that he was like, somebody really special, somebody really I don't know, somebody unique in American history. I wanted to believe that. But DWS was Alan, yes. DWS was the limo driver. I just want to say that Deborah Wasserman and her wonderful, amazing hair, her frizzy, beautiful hair, I love it. Just wondering if Son's still at Ecuadorian Embassy. Did he ever get medical attention? No, he is still, Scooter 77, he's still there in the embassy, and God bless him, and I wish him the best. I want him free, and what's taken place against him has been an absolute tragedy and travesty. Thank you, Scooter 77. Thank you, Samuel Stafford. Thank you. But see, he's now like, what do the polls say? Now he's like leading in the polls, but it's interesting. You're about 3 years too late, people. You're about 3 years too late on the left. They're like, Bernie, the second a viable, well, first of all, the second Beto O'Rourke comes in, I mean, here you have a younger clone of Bernie Sanders. It would be like, it's a younger clone. And it's like, how do you compete with that? Because Bernie Sanders, his message was, oh, we're going to fight the system and we're going to, I mean, I thought his message was breaking up too big to fail banks and bringing home Americans from endless quagmires, ending quagmires, having a different foreign policy than the neoconservative Max Boot Hillary Clinton foreign policy. That's these are the reasons I loved past tense Bernie Sanders. But now, now he's this like DNC approved Bernie, promoting the Trump Russia myth for 2 years alongside everyone else. And still, Politico, he's not going to be the nominee. It's like, they're using him. What Bernie Sanders is, and I hate to say it because it hurts me to say it, but what Bernie Sanders is a fundraising machine for the Democratic Party. And it hurts to say. And if you don't think he's a fundraising machine, and if you don't think that there's practically zero chance for him to win the nomination, if he won the nomination, it would only be because Democrats allowed him in a very wanted him simply to utilize him to remove Trump from office, and then Bernie would do whatever corporate Democrats wanted. And look, if he couldn't if he couldn't battle against the DNC, if he didn't have, do you realize how many people, millions of young people, would have gone with Bernie Sanders and Jill Stein? Jill Stein invited him. He's like, I'm sorry, Jill. I'm already taken Deborah Wasserman to the prom, to the Hillary Clinton dance. He didn't fight the system. He became a tool of the system. And he raised what, $6 million in. I mean, if you're giving money to Bernie Sanders, I mean, are you like calling Bernie Madoff in prison and saying, hey, do you know any good stocks? Like, what else are you doing? Bernie Sanders raises nearly $6 million in 24 hours. Who are these people just giving $6 million? Like, it's not going to Bernie. It's going to the Democratic Party. Almost certainly. When Bernie was not popular and I was like the quote unquote unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post, the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post, when Sanders wasn't accepted, that's when people should have rallied around him. When he was an actual obstacle to the Democratic Party, that's when people should have rallied around him, not now. It would be like if the Ramones, like, did a tour with Britney Spears and, Lady Gaga. Like, the Ramones, if they were around, would never do that. They would never do that. Oh, sorry. Mr. Super Chat. Match Mac, Bernie rally anthem. My best friend's girlfriend. No way DWS can resist the charms of Romney. Madge Mac. Romney. He is a charming fellow. Romney is a charming fellow. I gotta say, Romney is a charming, smooth operator. Smooth. Romney is smooth. I'll give him that. He's actually smooth, but not too slimy. Not too slithery. He's got the smooth, not so slimy thing going on. Trump is not smooth. Trump is like a, just burlap, but he's honest. I like punk and there's a bunch of hair bands I kind of do like also. I mean, to listen to. It's fun. I think music, you should enjoy music, all different. Everything. I think I told everyone this one time. I was this is great. This is like 15, maybe 10 years ago. I was at a newsstand and there was this guy, dressed like, an old school rocker. He had the leather jacket and the tattoos and the long hair. And I don't know why it was like, we were talking about rock and roll. And the first thing is like, one of the first things is like, who do you like, man? And then the first thing out of my mind, I don't know why, I was thinking of Bon Jovi. I said, oh, I like Bon Jovi, He's like, Bon Jovi, get out of my store now. It was the newsstand. It wasn't his newsstand, but he was like, get out. He was joking, but it was kind of hilarious. But anyway, I don't know. I think that it would be actually really, really wonderful. It would be really wonderful to kind of see like how would how would Ann Coulter respond to Romney? Like she would make it her mission in life to destroy him. She would make it her mission in life. If Romney voted against the National Emergency Declaration, she would make it her mission in life. And not to mention, like all the other like pundits, like on the conservative side, Kurt Kavasi. Yes, she is alive. God bless her. And she's alive. And if she ever retires, we have Amy Coney Barrett, which would be fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, in addition to my Federalist article, check out my Jerusalem Post op-eds below and my Daily Caller articles below as well. It'll be interesting to see, like, Bernie Sanders is already getting so much hate on Twitter. It's like they just use him as a money, like it's like a fundraising apparatus now. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh my God. Bernie's Twitter page is nauseating. I kind of agree with artificial intelligence and robots are positive creations of the human mind. I don't think AI is positive at all. But they should be used to improve the lives of working people, not just to increase corporate profits. Human beings must control technology, not the other way around. I actually agree with that. I agree with that. And people are like, who is who is the H.A. Goodman of 2020? Heavy lies the crown. So they still talk about me on Twitter. This is a guy hilarious. I love like the horrible things I represent to people I don't respect. It's fantastic. This is hilarious. This is hilarious. Oh my God. Oh, look, there's that bleep, lying piece of bleep human known as H.A. Goodman is trying to save face by attacking McCabe. What? Save face? What are you talking about? Because otherwise people will realize what a stinking piece of rotting. Okay, bleep he is. Seriously, if you're watching or reading H.A. Goodman, go get mental help. It's awesome. Oh my God. That's the best compliment I've ever had in my life. Thank you, everyone. I am still popular on Twitter. Can you imagine? I'm not even on Twitter. People are saying that I'm like the human, Oh my God, that's so great. Oh, I missed a super chat. Okay. Match Mac. If Bern gave back Tony Stark's card, if Bernie gave back Tony Stark's card, it might help. Oh my God. Oh my God. What else are they saying about me? Oh, they're insulting. They're insulting people on the left by calling them me. Yeah, baby. This is awesome. Um, I mean, there's still people who are like saying nice things about me. I don't know. You know what? The interesting thing is, like, there is no like. I enjoy the fact that I was on the right side of history back then, at least in terms of what I was deceived, but like I was telling people, hey, look, and it turned out to be right. Now everyone's like, yeah, Bernie's great. And it's like, nope, you're about 3 years too late. And Trump is actually a very good president, an excellent president. Thank you, Matthew. Yes. Um, Andrew McCabe is like, he should have been indicted already. This is hilarious. This guy is like on a media tour. Andrew McCabe franchise shows give CBS weekly ratings win. What? Are you serious? This is hilarious. Oh, look at this. McCabe's lawyer says criminal investigation into him is ongoing. I wonder why. This guy's going to get indicted. And when he does, I will have told everyone, just like I told everyone, national emergency, Trump, Clinton winning, Clinton losing to Trump, all that stuff. It's going to be awesome. Andrew McCabe. Okay, William Barr is going to begin investigations within the near future at some point. Patricia Marino. Jared Beck has a wonderful book. Have you read Jared Beck's thoughts? Oh, I haven't, but I would imagine Patricia that he is that I would imagine that Jared is saying that that he's just going to funnel money back into the DNC and that he's not worth voting for, which I agree with. Which I agree with. But look, I mean, there's like a 1 or 2% chance that he does get the nomination, but it'll be interesting. There's like a 98% chance he gets cheated again. It'll be interesting, like if he wins primaries and then they cheat him again, and then the same people who say they love him will be like, "Oh, okay, vote for Clinton 2020 again." It's going to be like Groundhog's Day, and it's like, how many times can you say thank you? Please cheat me again. Like how many? How is that good? How is that good? Um, so it is interesting. Roosevelt Media. Please devote an entire segment on why folks need to walk away from Bernie Sanders. Very important. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Roosevelt Media News. Thank you. I mean, at this point right now, Roosevelt Media, thank you. Thank you, as always, for your support. Bernie Sanders is a fundraising apparatus for the Democratic Party. Nanny Boo Boo. Yes, they're still talking about me. It's hilarious. I just look, I won't be completely happy until I want everyone on the left to use my name to just, well, I shouldn't say this, but I just find it hilarious that as an insult, they're calling people me. I just find that hilarious. And you can tell like who has game and who has a voice and who doesn't. Because the people who are like, I'm not AJ Goodman, don't call me that. No. Like that, those are the people who have no game. The people who do have game, they're like, well, you know what, whatever. Like, Roosevelt Media News. Thank you. Eric H526. Those who are bashing HE on Twitter must have. Eric H526. Yes. Wow. Wow. Eric H526. That was comedy gold. Have a great weekend, HE. Have a great weekend, Eric H526. Thank you, as always. Mitchell Smith. One of Trump's great HA Goodman duration syndrome. Let that, yes, that is the official. Yes, that is the official. If they bring up my name, just say, hey, look, you have H.A. Goodman derangement syndrome. Mitchell Smith, one of Trump's greatest accomplishments is he brought back politics to this country. I have not seen people discuss politics like this since Watergate. Yep. Mitchell Smith, it's true. Brooke, thank you. Mitchell Smith, it's true. And the interesting thing also, Mitchell, is that he is actually shedding light, or he's actually forcing both left and right to look at themselves in a mirror. Thank you, Richard Faith. Thank you. You know, he's actually forcing Democrats and Republicans to look at themselves in the mirror. And Democrats do not like what they see. You know, CJ Matt, thank you. Thank you for listening for so long. Thank you, CJ Matt. But Mitchell, yeah, I mean, Democrats don't like what they see. They look in the mirror. They don't like what they see, you know. Alan, yes. Yes. I mean, there's we have zero election integrity in the Democratic Party. There's zero election integrity. Zero. Like, it's the same. It's actually worse because they've legitimized. They're going to choose. It could be Kamala Harris. I still think that Clinton 2020 is just around on the horizon, along with indictments. She'll eventually get indicted. It could be the last year of Trump's presidency, second term, but it'll happen. Criminal investigation still ongoing. Yes. Look at that. He's still under criminal investigation. Still under criminal investigation. And Democrats, like, you know, they're okay. Let's put it this way. Anyone. It doesn't, if Harvey Weinstein, if you know, if anyone came out right now and said, you know what, I can't stand Trump, they'd be like, you know, you've done really bad things, but you're a good person for not liking Trump. Marcus Conti, hello. Thank you for watching. It's interesting, like, they're like, oh my God, Andrew McCabe is a great person. He's under criminal investigation. What are you talking about? You mean McCabe was really worried that Trump could be working with Putin? That's interesting. Where did you learn this? Oh, the Steele dossier. Oh, you mean the Steele dossier purchased by Clinton? That the FISA judge didn't know. The FISA judges were not given any information. So, and it's just like, if you go on Twitter right now, I just want to see, like, this is the, like, people are giving money to Bernie, and just look. I just want to show you how the left is treating Bernie Sanders. Okay, so he's a fundraising tool, but, like, I'm going to say it. I don't want Bernie Sanders to run again. This is on the left. I will not be voting for Bernie Sanders. This is on Twitter. These are from people who are, and then one guy like, oh, you know, from the bottom of my heart, I asked Clinton and Sanders supporters to avoid replaying 2016. Well, then ask Clinton supporters not to cheat Bernie again. Oh, Bernie Sanders is a sponsor of the NRA, and oh my God. Oh my God. So they just. So is Bernie a Democrat this time? Oh, they don't think he's a Democrat. I don't really care. I'm not like saying this to like defend him. I'm just saying like Madge Mac. Bernie slaps down the DWC card and magic. Yeah. Madge Mac. Yes. Madge Mac. Bernie. Forgotten millennials. Spot on that Bernie's finally bankrupt DNC money. It'll be hard. Nice. Forgotten millennials. Nice. Thank you, Forgotten millennials. Rumiko! Did Colorado vote in the red flag law? What have you heard about this? Love you, HA. Rumiko, thank you. Madge Mac, Forgotten millennials, thank you. Rumiko, thank you so much for supporting my voice in this channel. Thank you, Rumiko, as always. I believe let me see. Colorado red flag passes first hearing at state capitol. So they're still voting on it. They might actually pass it. But it's actually what I don't get. I've actually reached out to CNN and MSNBC and said, look, if you need a Second Amendment advocate, call me. If you need somebody opposed to gun control, call me. I will easily dismantle any argument. And the moral foundation of their arguments is the inanimate object is the reason but the majority of crimes committed by with guns in America are through illegally obtained firearms. This is a fact. The vast majority, illegally obtained. So there you go. I mean, funny thing, criminals for some reason. So Rumiko, they're still voting on it. Criminals for some reason don't follow the law. How is that? How does that work? 11 hours ago, Colorado red flag gun bill passes first hearing at state capitol. Colorado Democrats launch another campaign Thursday to pass. I love how, like, not a Medicare for all. No. We have to, erase the Second Amendment. There's an effort backed by many top law enforcement. Oh, yeah. To allow weapons to be seized from people who are determined by a court to pose. See, this is like, pre-crime. Like, what should happen is actually you should prevent people from getting narcotics that could hurt themselves. That, there are a great many people who shouldn't be given sleeping pills. But see, that law would never pass. You could do that with a whole bunch of things. Soon, like, you'll want a Big Mac, and they'll be like, nope, against the law. Oh, look at you. Look at you, H.A. Goodman. Do you really need a Big Mac? Don't think so. H.A. Goodman, you fit the lard behind the lard behind anti-Big Mac bill. Pre-eating of fatty sandwich bill. Rumiko! Thank you, Rumiko, as always. So they're voting on it. Hopefully, it doesn't pass. But, this is interesting. Colorado sheriffs consider pulling support, withdrawing support. Okay, good. This is blatantly unconstitutional. Like, the Supreme Court would strike down these laws. Blatant. I mean, there has to be Supreme Court cases against this. Nano Horizon, there is a case to be made regarding what you just said. Colorado could become the latest. So, I mean, like, how do you go and say, well, this person, I'm telling on this person's like, what? No, it doesn't work because then it leads to, instant lawsuits. The first thing someone should do is sue immediately. Immediately. No, I'm against BDS, but I'm also against anti-BDS legislation. So I don't think you can have legislation to prevent a boycott. But I am against the boycott. I'm absolutely 1,000% against BDS. But I don't believe that there should be legislation boycotting, preventing a boycott. McCabe sees presidents as a threat. Who cares what McCabe sees? He's under criminal investigation. Even if he wasn't, it's still part of a bureaucratic attempt to remove the president. It's like, I really don't care what these like criminals and corrupt officials think. Like, that's like the last thing on my mind. Like, oh my God, really? What does McCabe think? It's like, I don't care. I really don't care. I really don't care what McCabe thinks. I just don't care. No, sorry. So, Romiko, thank you. Samuel Stafford, thank you. To my super chat, thank you. Mitchell Smith, thank you as always. Exactly. Hopefully the state senate, I am a member of both NRA and gun owners. Gun owners is great. Yeah, I mean, if you look at what's taking place, you have the Mueller probe ending, and they think that Clinton, there's no other Clinton. Oh, why would you even talk about her scandals? It's like, no, there's going to be investigations regarding Clinton scandals right now, regarding her email investigation, all of that within the next couple of weeks, or definitely within the next couple of months. House Democrats pressure Attorney General to release Mueller reports. So what? Who cares? Who cares? Nobody cares. So what? House Democrats are ratcheting up pressure. Yeah, let them ratchet up all they want. William Barr's like, no, I don't think I'm going to do that. So I think that Roosevelt Media, eventually she's going to run. I don't see, this is the thing. I don't see anyone taking a lead. And if Clinton decides to run, you're going to see the media converge and say, oh my God, they're going to be like, oh, she's finally arrived. She'll win it this time. The Russians won't interfere in the election again. Oh my God. Could you imagine? Florida Explorer, thank you. Could you imagine? And I mean, look, Clinton 2020. Let's type it in right now. She's running again. He's running again. Dems strategist says Clinton absolutely has a role to play. Yeah, like running. Every like 3 weeks, every month, you're like, last year, Hillary Clinton is running again. Then like a month back, Hillary Clinton's running again. Former Clinton advisor says Hillary will run in 2020, November 2018. She's running again. And then there was another Hillary 4.0. The software that never ends. Mac. Now the HA has been seduced by Gateway. How long before he goes his pilot's license? Oh, next month. That's right. The pilot's license is awesome. Motorcycles are awesome, but I don't know. I think that's a little bit too awesome for my taste. Mac. The dangerous thing now is you've planted a seed in my brain. But no, I think a little bit. I mean, yeah, I can never say never. Probably, you never say never. I mean, if it's like, gosh, probably never. Mac. Yes, that is awesome. It's always good to make you think. Me on a motorcycle probably be a little bit too dangerous. Almost as dangerous as me on a plane and flying a plane. Both are, awesome, but motorcycles they're great, but they're really, really, really dangerous. So I think I'd have to probably like practice forever. Mac, thank you. Thank you, Mac. Thank you. Former Clinton advisor said Hillary will run again in 2020. This is fantastic. This is November of 2018. Wow, this is great. In a journal op-ed, wow, Hillary will run again, reinventing herself as a liberal firebrand. Mrs. Clinton will easily capture the 2020 nomination. This is by two Clinton strategists. Look at that. This is in 2018, 2017. Look, Clinton 2020, 2019. They keep saying Biden, but Biden has zero electricity or charisma around him. Zero. I just don't think that Clinton is the type of person to be like, gosh, I just don't think I could win. That's not the mentality of someone who creates a new Cold War. Too. Hillary Clinton backers aren't happy about Bernie Sanders' 2020 bid. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. But let's say, which was just a couple of weeks ago. Hillary Clinton running again. Wait, so Hillary Clinton might run for president again? Former Clinton advisor says Hillary run again. Ex-Clinton aide, Hillary will run again. Governor Rendell, Hillary may run again. That's funny. Democrats and independents on, please God, not Hillary. See, this is the thing. You also thought it was absurd that the Democrats would blame Russia for losing. Well, guess what? You might think it's absurd that she would run again, but I think that she's going to run again. There's too many. Okay. It was just recently. Just recently, she was actually saying that she was going to run again. So Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. Rumiko, thank you. Samuel Stafford, thank you. Everyone, thank you. To my super chat, thank you. I would expect within the next couple of months. I think that what you would want if you're Clinton, you've managed to have 2 years of nonsense, with the Mueller probe and everything. You purchased your own Russian hacking myth. I think that she would probably within 3 or 4. Well, no, probably late 2019. You know what? She would wait for all of them to max out their credit cards and just run out of money. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. To my super chat, thank you. I will be back. George Rivera Jr. Considering how the Secret Service had to stuff her back. You mean she's gonna stagger? I don't think this is like the Romney type of look. George Rivera Jr., thank you as always. I don't think the makeup of that type of person who is continually committing criminal acts in plain sight and getting away with everything and being able to raise endless sums of money. I just don't think she has the makeup to say, gosh, it would be embarrassing to run again and lose again and plunge the country into yet another crisis. But I just think that she's probably going to run again. Thank you, Eric H526, Luke St. Martin, thank you. Everyone, thank you. George, thank you. To my super chat, thank you so much. I will see you a little later today. Check out, watch the upload at the end of this hour. Thanks so much, everyone.